Hello, it's Julia Sudo here for another and presumably the last episode of my story mode playthrough of Monkeyed Ball 2 by Bytes. I will, of course, as I said, continue into challenge mode after I finish this, but this is probably the end of story mode unless Culmination goes very poorly, which is a possibility. So for World 10-9, we've got Shriek. This level is, yep, well, that was not the way to do it. This level is pretty easy among World 9 levels, or World 10 levels. You basically just have to bounce along these one at a time. I find this kind of stuff easy, but I can imagine if this is not something in someone's skill set, then it could be quite difficult. Still, out of all the World 10 levels, I think this is by far the easiest, for me at least. And then we're on to the final stage, which is Culmination. I've mentioned this one several times as being very hard and also very good, because I do strongly believe that it is both of those things. This is your sort of... It's very, very large, as you can see, and yet you only have 60 seconds to complete it, and that's a somewhat controversial aspect of the stage. A lot of people on the SMB Level Workshop server tend to think that the time limit is a little too short and that it's kind of unfair because of that. Or like unfun, that's fake difficulty. I strongly disagree. I think that a lot of levels in this game utilize the time limit effectively, and in the originals and in this stage particularly. There's a reason why there's a time limit, and the one thing about this stage is that I don't think it would be that hard if it didn't have the time limit, or if it had like a 120-second time limit, which is what I typically see suggested, maybe a 90-second time limit. I do think it would ruin kind of the main challenge of this, which is the fact that not only do you have to do all these things, but you have to do them really quickly without kind of having time to line up or anything like that. And I don't, like, just each of the individual challenges in this stage aren't all that hard, honestly. Like, in a level on their own, like, any of these could be, like, I don't know, in one of the earlier worlds, like early worlds, like, probably first first 5 worlds easily. But here, you have to do it quickly. Instead, you have to do these kinds of walkways quickly, and that is really quite something. And this part is sort of based on Advanced 30, aka Polar, from Super Monkey Ball 1. It might be a little dangerous to stay on for as long as I did, but that's the way it has to be. And we were actually quite close to the end there. I suspect I'll get close to the end a lot, because the last part is... and to die there, I mean, because the last part is quite difficult. This is... either this or brackets, in my opinion, is the true hardest stage in the mod. This one's probably harder. It's supposed to be harder anyways. I don't think brackets is supposed to be the hardest, although I do find it extremely difficult personally. Probably because like I was talking about with the last level, it's not quite in my skill set. Like, I always found that kind of like Edge Master type stuff really hard. I remember I spent like a whole continue the first time I played Nintendo and Super Monkey Ball 2 as a kid. Like, I literally used like 99 lives on it, just playing in challenge mode. So it really is a tough one for me. And this is kind of the toughest one, because it doesn't only have that, but it has... well, oh no, it doesn't... well, this doesn't actually have any kind of Edge Master stuff, but it does have narrow walkways, it's got those jumpy things, it's got seesaws, it's got these bar things you have to jump over or otherwise like get pushed along by. It's got it all. It's got sloped paths, There's nothing in this... there is no Super Monkey Ball skill that this doesn't challenge, basically. Even the ending sort of has Edge Master type stuff with like the box that the goal is located in. It's not quite Edge Master stuff, but it's tangential, I would say. Oh, no. Oh, wow, I actually lived there. I'm surprised and very happy. Because we're making decent time. The thing is, you really want to have a lot of time at the end, because the ending can take a long time. And see, that path like that I just died on there, it actually tilts up and down, albeit slowly. So like it might have been flat when I got there, but you gotta kind of do it quickly if you want to do it while it's flat, or otherwise adjust to it not being flat. And of course, doing everything in this level quickly is in your interests. This part really confused me when I first played this. Like what you were actually supposed to do to get up there. You just have to jump down onto the ramp and bounce upwards. This stage has actually been recorded many times before, and like the rest of like World 9 and 10, because it was in Monkey Ball 1, and I think the exact same format. There aren't any like super significant changes to it. It's possible it was tweaked a bit, but it was basically the same in the first one. So I'm hardly the first to show myself beating this, but well, assuming I do beat it, but you know, I don't know. It's part of the playthrough anyhow. It's certainly part of this game, part of this mod. Yeah, so you want to jump over that like rotating bar thing, because it does make this just a bit faster. You can see the goal and the rotating cube thing over there. So yeah, this might take a bit. I should get a co-commentator if I keep doing videos. I don't know who it'd be, though. I don't know if I have any friends here who play this game at my college. But, you know, friends are good. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, okay, good timing, good timing. Okay, yeah, we're like a cycle ahead of where we were last time, I think. At least with these platforms. Well, everything has its own cycle, really. You really have to adapt to a lot of cycles in this. Oh, that was so close. Okay. If you get across that curving tilted wire, then the only thing left is like like basically dropping into the goal. There's like another walkway that you have to go across to get there, but it's not that thin, so that is like easy pickings compared to what has come before in this level, which again is just having to do this very quickly. Like you see, I dropped down there and I could continue, but there's no way I'd make it on time if I did that, like not even close. So you just have to start over if you screw anything up. Which is again what makes part of this difficult. Though you still have a little more leeway than on brackets, which is probably what makes this feel somewhat tamer to me in some ways. Although it is, of course, still extremely difficult. And it's an impressive final stage too. I think it's really good. I don't think it needs any changes to the time limit or otherwise, personally. Just to offer my own views. I really love how the time limit pushes you to kind of do everything quickly. You have to rush it. I think I already said that, but I don't know. It's true. Okay. Oh, and that was a screw up. I should have just waited another cycle. It's okay to get on the next one, although it makes the tilted wire a bit harder because that means it'll be tilted upwards, like when you're like halfway across it, instead of like 3/4 of the way across. You really get to learn the platform cycles in this stage, based on the timing, because like everything else in Super Monkey Ball, the stage is strictly deterministic. If you put in the same inputs, the same thing will happen every time. So, you definitely can just time everything out and get everything down to a science, more or less. And it's a big part of learning this stage for me was just like figuring out what would happen if I got to, this section at this time. Even with these, it matters a ton that, like, U-shaped things it matters a ton what your timing is, because if you're there earlier, they'll be more straight than if you get there later. In which case they'll be like much more significantly curved, just because they kind of twist back and forth. So like here they'll be twisted back and forth because I missed the jumping over the wire. Yeah, you see. So it's still doable, but it's just a little less convenient than if I had gotten there slightly sooner. You want to get to the polar part around like 35 seconds if you want to get on early. Otherwise, I think you get on around like 20, you get around like 30 seconds or so. And of course, being able to do one part quick, doing the earlier parts of the level quicker generally makes it easier to do the later parts of the level quicker. Or that's not always true, but at least gives you more time to prepare, because you can at least just wait until the easier time instead of being rushed into it. Yeah. So that's the kind of strategizing that the short time limit entails for me, at least. Because if it had like a 120-second time limit, then you could just wait around on the harder parts for like a more advantageous cycle. It's not 35; it's more like 32, I guess. Because yeah, then you get off here at like 23, and this is the more advantageous position to find this part in. Yeah, because then it's all flat. And here we go for the finale. We're probably not going to make it in, I'm guessing, but we'll see. Yeah. Yeah, no, not quite. That's unfortunate. But it was close, you see, so that's really what we're aiming at every time. I remember this just seemed impossible the first time I played it. Like, this... There's just so much to it, but then you realize that none of the individual parts are all that hard. I probably find the curved wire part right after the jump the hardest part of the stage, because I'm not very good at rushing that kind of thing. Even on, like, Exam C nowadays, like, I still take it, like, pretty slow and usually maybe get into the goal around, like, 10 seconds, which I know it's a lot slower than it's possible to do it. I'm no good at taking this quickly, so it screws me up a lot. But you have to get good at it anyways. And I actually did make it to the slightly faster cycle this time, which is a good omen, so to speak, of things to come. Oh no. And that part is also... The tilted wire is probably actually the #1 hardest, because it's just like a harder version of the earlier slanted, or just, wire thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, landing on that wire there in like the middle of it from the ramp jump is like, it feels really critical to me to like get that momentum going. So I always try to do that instead of landing on the platform and then getting going, because it just feels like I have more rhythm. It's just more of a psychological thing, I think. Though, of course, you also just kind of get a head start because you don't have to do the very first part of the wire, or line yourself up, per se. But the lining yourself up is mostly psychological, I'd say. Just feeling like you have... wow, I don't usually screw that part up. No, I don't usually get tilted with Super Monkey Ball, though, except on like stages that I really, really hate, or if I've been playing Deluxe for like 3 hours because I've been playing Expert or something. Regular length Super Monkey Ball doesn't piss me off, like, ever. And I don't play Deluxe much these days, because I don't have my PS2 at school, and also PS2 Deluxe sucks slow. So I wish I had the Xbox version. That'd be nice. Well, we're coming up on another attempt here. It's looking like, um, yeah. Okay, we're coming up on the goal here. Let's see if I can do it this time. Okay, I want to try getting right in there. Oh, damn it, that was so close. That was so close. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, that was so close. I'm so disappointed in myself. So that's the way to do it. Just, like, line up with the goal and fall straight into it. That's probably the best way. You don't want to end up rolling around in the box, because it can really mess you up. This is a little faster than I normally do this, I think. Yeah, I even got there, like, a cycle early, like, with the way the platforms were tilted. Which is good. I think that's a very minute difference. It doesn't really affect the rest of the level, but it does make it a little easier to cross. And again, like you always gotta keep the psychological component in mind. Just feeling like I have a head start definitely helps. Also, another thing that helps is like the absolutely bopping music in this mod. I guess one of the reasons that Deluxe often does frustrate me is because by the time I'm getting frustrated, it's like in like Expert Extra or, well, in more Master really, because of what I'm about to say, like the goddamn Bad Boon's bass music. I'm not a fan of it. Find it very grating and hard to work with, and I also do not like the visuals of that theme. So for this, I'd say it's nice to have music that's good playing in the background. Okay, and that was kind of a little off and not looking good for having done this quickly. Or getting like the earlier platform cycle. Oh, I did get it though. Okay. You definitely can ride on one of the smaller platforms here, or you can go through the center. I don't really know why you'd go through the center. I mean, it's probably slightly quicker, but like not enough to make up for how much more difficult it is. No interest in trying to transfer between those. Okay. Ah, no. Oh my god, that was so close again. I hate it when I just bounce on the edge of the goalpost. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. But I'm getting close. I'm actually surprised at how quickly this is happening. And this is a bad cycle. That was not good at all. But hopefully we can make up for it. I don't know. We'll try. Yeah, no. Yeah, you see, I think if you screw up the early parts, you can really just kind of get on tilt or whatever. This doesn't frustrate me too much because it's easy to make up for, but the way I kind of rolled around on the, like, after the U platform, that was really not great. Okay. You see, I don't want to be like this, though. Like, I know it is possible. I know I'm close. I'm not going to give up. Oh, no. Like, the key to this level is sort of balancing, like, slight patience. Like, you can't just rush all of it, like, completely. You still have to like respect the difficulty of some of this. Like, you can't just go willy-nilly on the wires like I do sometimes. You have to, balance like needing to do it quickly with also needing to like, keep a straight shot at it, like, and make sure you can actually like make sure you're actually in a good position to progress. Like, if you just rush at the next challenge without like, literally being straight on with the ball, like that's no good. This game's always about micro adjustments. all of Super Monkey Ball is. Just... And that's really what makes the stage so good to me, is that it kind of emphasizes the core gameplay of Super Monkey Ball, which, in my, to me is, like, sort of needing to make these micro adjustments and, like, be careful, so to speak, in spite of the game being very hard, if that makes sense. Rather, in spite of the time limit, and like, you have to respect the time limit, but also go quickly, but also like be careful enough to not just die. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. I feel like I'm dead in the water here. Yep. Yeah. All right. All right. We're gonna get it soon, though. We're gonna get it really soon. Okay. Whew, it's looking like a good run. If I get on here at 33 or so, it's looking like a good run to get to the box. And once I'm at the box, all I really have to do is, get a straight shot at the goal and actually fall on top of it properly instead of going too far to the left or right as I have. Yeah, that was too far to the left. Okay. And goal's on this side. Okay. And then we're going to fall into it here, hopefully. Nope. Okay. One interesting thing about this mod is that the timer still runs when you have the game paused, which is or assuming that, like, it runs if it's running, like if you're, like, in the stage loading animation, then it doesn't. But if you pause, like, during the middle of a stage, it doesn't. It does, which is to prevent, like, pause timing. As in, like, where you have, like on certain moving stages where you just have, like, a certain, like you pause the game for a certain frame, like, to wait for a certain frame based on the timer, and then, hold up, or hold upright or whatever, in order to sort of cheese the level. Bytes didn't want that, so he implemented a measure, which is that the timer still runs when you have it paused, so you can't time things based on it, which I think is pretty, like, it's cool, I guess. It doesn't... I never did the pause timing anyways. And also it doesn't impede pause buffering, which I think is it's like a... I don't know, I'm not too big a fan of using it myself, but it's I think it's a valid strategy, especially since with the... Yes! Done! Culmination is complete, and that means story mode is complete. Thank you, all you lovely people. Laser charged at 90%. Bad Boon is going to do bad things. The laser's finally charged. Now all bananas will taste like curry. Forever! Yeah, okay. Oh no. Curry's good, though. I already said this, but curry's good. Hot take. Guess the monkeys don't think so. Anyways, I'm really not feeling this, honestly, so just press start there. I want to skip the credits, too. But, in any case, really appreciate you watching this. This has been really lovely. I'm glad I was able to get videos of World 9 and 10 out there. And definitely stay tuned on the server or whatever for challenge mode videos, because I'm definitely planning on doing this. And I might do some other mods too. I wanted to do Twix Ninja's new hard mod. That'd be fun. So thank you, and have a great day.